Hi, it's Courtney from the Rule Breakers Club with copywriting, business, and life advice for rebels with a cause. Today I want to talk about the #1 problem I see in everybody's writing, and it's called vagueness. Far too many of us are trying to reach a bigger audience by being less specific with our language. Vague copy does not hit your readers in a way that makes them feel connected to you. Think about it. When you pick up a novel, a new book, or read a story, it's never vague. It's not vague information for you to make up. There's specific things in the book for you to imagine. The language paints a picture for you. Today I'm going to give you my 4 best tips for taking the vagueness out of your copy and making your language much more concrete so that your readers will feel compelled to keep reading your writing. To take your writing from vague to vibrant, the first thing you need to do is to use your 5 senses. In a previous life, I used to teach children with learning disabilities how to have better reading comprehension. The work I did was actually kind of amazing. We could take a kid from like the 20th or lower percentile in reading comprehension up to the 80th percentile, which is incredible. We used very specific teaching strategies that were all about painting a picture and having people create an image in their head of the writing. I learned so much from working with this company, but the #1 lesson I learned was the power of visualization. As I said earlier, when you read a book, you're visualizing the actions that happen in that story. You know how when you go to see the movie version of one of your favorite books and you can't help but to compare what you thought things would look like to how the director and the movie producers made it look like in the movie? This is because you were picturing the story's events in your mind's eye as you were reading the book. In your writing, and especially in your web copy, you need to be creating a visual for your readers. Look through your writing and ask yourself, what does this look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? You have control over the picture that people are imagining. Take that power and run with it. Make sure you're using your words to have your readers picture the thing you want them to be picturing. Tip #2 is to start using more specific examples in your content. Life coaches, listen up. That goes with health coaches and web designers and everyone else out there. The #1 thing I hear people say when they come to me to do their copy is that they're afraid that if they use specific examples, that example is only going to connect with part of their market and not the rest. The thing is, if you don't use any examples, you're not connecting with anybody. If you have a lot of different segments to your market, which is usually the case, in fact, I haven't run into anyone where that wasn't the case, I want you to use specific examples to target each of those people. Instead of using vague terms like step into your best life, ask yourself, what does that look like for this person? How about for this person and this person? Add elements of all of those things into your copy so you'll connect with all of the different niches of your market. Tip #3, use metaphors. Good ones. Metaphors are the essence of learning because they take 2 different concepts and make comparisons so that you can see the qualities of one thing in the other. This is how we learn new things. Metaphors are a great way to make an abstract concept like empowerment more visual. Here's how to find a unique metaphor for your specific content. What you need to do is to take the vague abstract thing that you've been talking about and list all of the qualities that that thing has. Then you're going to go through each of those qualities and think of other things that have those specific qualities. You're going to end up with a list of possible metaphors at the end of that, and one of them will be the metaphor you can use in your copy. Tip #4 is to revise your final draft. Way too many people are paralyzed by a blank page before they even start writing. I don't want that to happen to you. Don't worry about this vibrant visual language stuff until you get to the final draft. That's where you can go through the copy, highlight any areas that are vague, and come up with more visual ways of explaining those concepts. All right, those are my 4 best tips for making your copy more visual instead of vague. I hope you will take these tips and run with them. In fact, your action step for today is to pick one of the 4 tips and use a piece of copy that you already have written. It can be anything, and just go through it with a highlighter and find any vague language and try to spice it up with something more visual. The way to find vague language is simply to ask yourself at each word, can I picture that? Can I picture this concept? What does that really mean? Is it concrete to me? Could I draw a picture of it? If you can't, then it's probably not visual enough. And hey, if you're not sure, chances are it's not visual enough, so you should definitely be using these 4 filters. If you liked that video, I hope you will come over to rulebreakersclub.com and subscribe to get your copy of the free copywriting cheat sheets that will help you with this vague to visual stuff and so much more. You'll also get these weekly videos straight to your inbox. I'll see you next time.